Thank you very much. So hello everyone. So I am Matthew Scroggs. I'm a research software engineer at the Advanced Research Computing Centre at UCL, and also one of the organisers of this workshop. So thank you all for being here to listen to my talk and many others. And today I'm going to be talking about cargo templated examples, which is a little convenience crate I made, which isn't specifically scientific, but most of the use cases I kind of have in mind for are scientific, so I thought it was worth sharing with the community today. But first of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on which scientific things I work on to kind of justify why I bothered making this crate. So there's two kind of main Rust things I'm involved in. The first one is the ND collection of libraries. So these are ND standing for numerical discretization. And we've made so far the libraries ND element, ND mesh, and ND function space. So the aim of these libraries is we are building towards getting finite and boundary element methods working in Rust. So we started with ND element, which is defining basis functions on reference cells. We then moved to ND mesh, which is handling the meshes you need. And we're now working on ND function space, which is a way of taking the mesh and the element and making the function space on the full mesh. And once we've got that completed, we're then going to be looking at finite element assembly to build towards a full finite element library. So the context of what I'm doing is partly to do with this numerical discretization work, but also I've been involved alongside Timo Becker, who many of you may hear from later today because he's running one of the tutorials on it, the RLST library, which is the Rust Linear Solver Toolbox library, which is a linear algebra library in Rust that has ways of doing many common numerical linear algebra things that you want to do. But if you want to learn more about that, go to Timo's tutorial this afternoon. But as part of my work on both of these things, I came across a problem in both of those, and that was in my examples folder. So as we're writing the software, we like to put example codes in the examples folder to show people how to use our code. But in order to make sure those examples continue to run, we set up kind of CI to run these examples. But it got kind of complicated because we saw in our examples folder we had, so these are some examples from ND Mesh. Many of the examples we just run like this, do cargo run example, mix mesh in release mode, similarly with single element mesh. But then we found there were some examples that we also needed to give some features to because they required some optional features of the library in order to run. So our IO, our input feature, uses SERD. So you need to enable the SERD feature in order to use the IO, in order to run the IO example. It got even more complicated when we started doing some MPI parallelized meshes, because for these examples, you need to do MPI run with a combination of features. And then we found there were kind of more and more things with MPI. So here we wanted to run this example with 2 and 4 processes to really test it on the CI. And we had this one here, which is also MPI run with a different set of features. And this got kind of irritating because in order to run all of these locally, I had to remember all the different commands for each different example. And in order to run them on CI, we were getting kind of a very long block of code in the CI config that was getting pretty ugly and hard to kind of keep up with. Have we made sure we've run all the examples or have we missed any of the new examples? So inspired by this, I created a crate with the goal of being I want to create a new cargo command that you can run cargo, my new command, which I decided to call templated examples, and it would run all of these for you without you having to remember what all of the different ways of running your examples were going to be. So in order to make this crate, I first of all learned how to make cargo extensions. So I'm going to show you that to hopefully inspire some of you to make cargo extensions because it turns out it is simpler than I expected it to be. And then I'll show you how exactly I made my extension. So in order to make a cargo extension, the first thing you need to do is you need to make a new crate, a binary crate. So you do cargo new bin and call it cargo hyphen and then whatever your command is going to be. So as long as it starts with cargo hyphen, it's going to be a cargo extension. And then whatever code you put in main.rs will be run whenever a user runs cargo space your command, as long as they've done cargo install cargo your command first. And that's all you need to do. All you need to do is release a crate on crates.io that starts with cargo dash. And as long as people then install it, they can run it using the cargo command like that. So once I realized this was easy, I got to work making my crate. And to show you a bit of what it looks like, this is what the main function in cargo templated examples looks like. I'm going to highlight just a few of the kind of important things. First of all, here we use the cargo toml crate, which does a kind of recursive upward search. So it kind of keeps going up directories until it finds cargo.toml cargo.toml, and also checks for workspaces. If it finds a cargo.toml, it checks if there's one in the parent directory for workspace, so it will run all the workspace things if it needs to. We then have this function here, run all examples. So we pass that directory into this run all examples. The definition of this function is actually quite long because this is where we actually go through and run the examples. But it's not particularly complicated. It's just there's lots of little bits we do to kind of keep track of which things we've run and which things have succeeded and failed, and various templates you can put into them. And then we have a load of ifs here, which kind of check how many things have failed, how many things have passed. And importantly, this function returns an exit code type. And that means that if it then returns exit code failure on GitHub CI, that picks up as a fail. So it will cause the CI to fail. So you can use this nicely on CI if you use these exit codes here. And essentially, once you've got this code and you've written your run all examples code, you've got the cargo extension that we wanted to make. So how do we use this crate again? So if you're sitting there thinking, this sounds great, this can simplify a lot of my workflows, how do I use this crate? So in order to configure this crate or to configure this command on your crate, you need to do one of two things. Either you can use comments starting with // at the top of your file and put the cargo command here. So if you were to put // mpirun -n4 at the top of your file, that would tell the cargo template examples that you want to use cargo mpirun -n4 as the command to run that example. Alternatively, you can add this config to the cargo.toml, which currently you need to do by doing package.metadata.example the name of the example .template examples, and you can set the command in there. And if you do either of those two examples here, that would mean that cargo template examples would run cargo mpirun n4 example file name in release mode as one of the things it runs when you do cargo templated examples. So changing the command you've put in these files here would change how you want your files to run. You can also use variables within cargo mpirun. So here I've used the mprocesses variable, and then if you call cargo template examples and put mprocesses space 24, it will run it with 2, then it will run it with 4. So you can use this to kind of template your examples, hence the name cargo templated examples. And cargo template examples also looks in the cargo.toml for the required features. So when you define an example using the syntax like this in your cargo.toml file, you can define required features for that example, and cargo template examples will go through, find these, and make sure it passes them into your thing. So if you do this and do no other config, it would do cargo and example file name, and it would put the features cerd and MPI into it like that for you. So it's kind of helpful, even if you don't want to do kind of MPI running, it can still run things with the correct features for you, which is hopefully a useful feature. So in summary, these are the examples I showed at the beginning, which were the examples I took from my ND mesh crate. And so what you can do then, if you wanted to run these exact examples here, you could instead put this config into your crates.toml file, and that would then tell cargo template examples to run all of these examples for you. So essentially, you could run cargo template examples mprocesses24 because I've put a template in there. I've put a variable in there, and that would then run all of these commands with just one line of code. And I open admit that the config in your crates.toml file here looks just as complicated as remembering these commands, but the key idea here is you write this in your config.toml file once, and then every time you want to do it, you just do cargo templates examples, and it will run all of the things for you at the same time. So think kind of going forwards, as long as you remember how this config works once when you set it up, you then kind of have an easier thing to do every time you want to run the examples. Oh, and also if you want to, you can, if you don't like writing mprocesses24 there, you can also define which values you want your variables to take inside your cargo.toml file like that. So you can move the mprocesses there to make your workflow even simpler if you don't like declaring the variables in your command line run. So there's one thing I would love to do in cargo template examples that I've not done yet, and that is the thing I'm kind of least happy with, which is when you define things in your cargo.toml, you have to use this package.metadata kind of really just long string of characters, which I find particularly ugly. I would really like to do what's written on the right-hand side here, which is just in the example section, write command like this. The issue is that the way that Cargo is set up at the moment, it doesn't let you put custom commands in these example things nicely without putting them in the metadata place. So you can't easily find these commands there. So I'm hoping one day this may be a supported feature in Rust, but for now we have to put up with a slightly ugly metadata way of doing things. And that's sort of why that's slightly ugly. But I think to me, it's worth putting up with this in order to have a kind of neater run for our examples. So in summary then, you can either put some metadata in your cargo.toml file, or you can add / question mark comments at the top of your examples. And then you can run cargo template examples just like that. And you can run all of your examples without having to remember all your different run commands for all the different examples. And the code is on GitHub if you would like to look at how it works. So thank you very much for listening. I'm happy to take questions.